Hello, everyone. Man, I didn't really believe in artist block. I mean, I knew it was a thing, but I didn't think it could touch me. And when I heard people talking about artist block, I just was like, yeah, it's just because you're lazy. But no, guys, I get it now because I was on a hot streak for years where I would just do painting after painting, and as soon as I finished one, I would think of another one. It was great, and I think it's what a lot of beginners dream about, that kind of mindset. But man, did this year hit me hard of the artist block. Like it, I don't know. Like I can't think of anything, and so the last thing I posted was back in July, and that's just I'm usually doing a couple paintings, if not four paintings a month. And so, and even the ones that I do come up with, or the ideas that I do come up with, or even just if I'm copying a portrait, it's a struggle. Like I feel like that is the definition of artist block. You just can't be happy with anything, and and that's okay. Sometimes you're gonna have a good year. 2020 was definitely a good year for me. I mean, just a lot of really good stuff. Um, so this year, not so good, and that's okay because we need breaks. I don't think anybody really talks about breaks. I think you can abuse it. You can definitely abuse it. You can definitely say 4 or 5 months later, I'm on a break. I'm just recharging my batteries. I think that's a little much. Sometimes you gotta get back to work. But for me, I did take just a couple months off, not by choice, I guess. Just a lot of things. I got married back in June, so that took a lot of energy to get prepared. I mean, maybe my wife did a lot of it, but still. Um, and then planning the honeymoon, and then I got COVID, so it like throughout the last couple months, it had just been hell, and so painting was and painting something good hasn't always been at the top of the list, and but now I'm feeling good. I don't have too much going on, got Christmas around the corner, but that's normal. But so I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. But look at where I was at back in July. Back in July, I was painting this portrait of Ruth from Snowpiercer. Guys, Snowpiercer is a great show. Um, Everybody's talking about Squid Games right now, but if you guys get a chance, check out Snowpiercer. Ruth, she's a character from season. Well, she was a terrible character in season one, and everybody just kind of hated her. But she's really grown on me this year, and sirens. It sounds like I'm like in the middle of downtown, but no, I live like really in the middle of nowhere. It's a small town. Small town of some. It's kind of big for me because I grew up in the boonies. All right, I think we're good. So, anyways, I was looking at this painting a couple months ago, and I was thinking, wow, that's. I'm getting back in the swing of things because I was struggling back then. And, I was struggling with the artist block, and then I painted this, and I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. Like it's still rough, but we're getting somewhere. But I was getting a little optimistic, and when I looked at it just a week or two ago, this is where I left off at, and I was like, damn, like I just like back then I couldn't see all the mistakes that was going on in this, and I was copying from a photo, but I was just so like burnt out, tired, just exhausted, and I didn't feel like painting. And when you're in that mindset, the best thing to do is really just to put the paintbrush down, the pen, the stylus, the pencil, put it down and figure out what is going on with you, like mentally, Like, are you dehydrated? Do you need some you need some water? You need some sleep? You need a few days off? Maybe a month off. Just be careful. Don't like take forever off, but breaks are perfectly fine because when I came back to this a couple months later, I was like, damn. I just started plowing away, and like immediately, like within a few, like this was several hours of work, and then this was like at 30 minutes work. Like immediately, I just started seeing all these things that were wrong, and then I got to this point, and I was like, okay, what's it missing? Like, and then I went back, and I started looking at my old portraits. Not that old. Not that old. Shit. Okay, so I started looking at the ones that I did last year that I felt really good about. And when you look at something that's at a final state, and then you look at what you're currently working on, and then you see like a clear winner, and it's like, damn, did I get worse? And then like this one of my mom, like I really enjoyed. And I'm looking at the one that I did. I'm like, what makes this better? Like, let's not get too self-loathing or whatever. Let's not get into like, oh, I was such a better artist back then, and some reason over the past couple of months I've lost it. Like, I could wallow in that as long as I like whatever. Like I don't want to be there. Okay. So I just started thinking about it logically. Like, what makes this better? What makes this better? And I think that's just the contrast. If you look at like some of the old paintings from the Baroque era, or even like Caravaggio, they use really, really high contrast. Like, look at that. They have these really dark backgrounds with these bright lit figures, and they all look amazing. I mean, they all work really well. Let's see. Let's get one more in here. I guess that one's a good one. So, and that's kind of what I was doing with this. Super dark background, bright face. And then dark background, but we got some contrast here. But this is like a checkered board where there's bright, then there's dark. Bright, and then dark. And that's what was lacking with this. Like, I wasn't pushing it far enough. This is getting pretty close. So that was the next thing. I was like, okay, let's get a dark background. And immediately started really helping out. And then the next step was to add some more like color dodge and details and final touches. And this is where we ended off with. And I still look at my other paintings and I'm like even though this is more like painterly and impressionistic, it still to me like has just a better feel to it than this. This one looks a little too digital for my taste, but you know, it's okay. It's okay that I don't create the very best painting. Like you're not as good as your last painting, even though that's how I feel all the time. Like if my last painting was just a sketch, I'm like, damn, I just suck now. I just named this one blah because I compare it to the 2020 version, and this one's from 2021, and I just like I wanted to try something different, and when it doesn't really work out, it just makes you feel like shit. Because this one took me hours, days, probably 20, 30, I don't know. It took a long time. And this one took probably 4 hours. Who knows? And yeah, it does kind of affect your self-esteem and motivation, and so that was the difference. I had the patience to figure this out, and if you don't have patience with your art, you're probably just going to set yourself up for disappointment. I always do. When I get in here and I try to rush it. Now I will say, with the ADD here, I will say I love painting still lifes. Still lifes are always a good fallback. If I'm feeling crummy about my my skill set, my artwork, I will I'll do a still life. I'll find a picture from Google and just kind of add my own little artistic flair to them. Get some color dodge in there. Get a nice dark background, and usually I end up winning. So if you're in a rut, try that out. I know still lifes aren't the most exciting thing in the world, but for me, I absolutely love them. They're really fun. I mean, look at some of these. That is amazing. And there was you can see the inspiration from some of these and my paintings. These are really, really good. There was this one. I love this one. Get even kind of more surreal with it. And it's just super simple shapes, and then you can just play around with color and values as much as you want. All right. So that's it. I was working on an Undertaker, and I don't know, guys. I had like a whole video planned out for this one, and I even recorded some, and I don't know. I don't think people are interested in portraits. But I just kind of want to give an update. Like I'm an all-around artist. But as you can see from this 7K video and this 1K video, they're both on photo bashing, and so people kind of like that stuff. And I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna do what I do, and if I do photo bashing in the future, which I definitely will, I love that stuff. I love landscapes, but I also like painting a bird. I also like painting oranges, and I also just like getting on here and talking for a bit. So if you guys like that, subscribe. I never say that, so let me have one. If we could get to 1,000, and then a decent amount of watch time, I can turn these damn ads off, because YouTube has, man, those assholes, they turn ads on to people that have less than 1,000 subscribers. I mean, isn't that just rude? Like, that was one of the big appeals about this channel, is you didn't even have to watch an ad. I don't know. I mean, even if I get enough people watching, I mean, I'll turn them back on, and make some money here. Probably not, though. I have a full-time job. That's why I'm not doing these videos that often. But I hope you guys stick around, because every once in a while I will do a video, and hopefully it's entertaining. Sometimes we get a win, like here. This was a good video, but come on, YouTube, you're hyping it up too much. This was a really good video too, and so is this perspective class. If you guys haven't watched this one, check it out, especially if you're struggling with perspective. I might have to make another one of these, and go just kind of clean it up. This one wasn't, the presentation's not the best, but the lesson that you'll learn from it is pretty good. All right, guys, now that we're out of that, so what else we got here? This was an old painting, 2017, and I've kind of learned, like, this one, you got that dark background there, but maybe it would look better if I got rid of this and made this dark too. This is a little too saturated, and this is more of the experimental stage of my portrait design. I was watching a lot of Marco Bucci, and I really loved his impressionistic brushstrokes, but I think I've kind of leaned away from this, and this is looking a little too messy. I know it feels like this is ADD, but I had all these portraits up, so I wanted to go through some of them. This one doesn't count because I traced it, and then I just painted over top of it. I mean, I didn't paint over top the photo. I did a tracing, and then I painted. So, not my line art, but my painting and color choices. Still, it's not too bad. It's pretty good. It's like really clean, compared to what I do now. And you look back at some of this stuff and you think, damn, was I better? Like, am I getting worse? You look at that and then you look at that and it's like, I don't know. Maybe I am getting worse. Those are some good oranges, though. You got to keep that creativity when you get older. Sometimes people can get set in their ways, and you got to experiment more. Like, even though this one did that, well, where'd it go? Whatever. That one portrait of me made me feel like crummy, but I got to keep that enthusiasm to learn and experiment and try different styles. So yeah, sometimes it doesn't always work out. I really like this one. This one doesn't have a dark background, but it works. This is actually one of my favorite ones. It's got kind of that really soft Monet, kind of impressionistic painting, especially here in the beard. And then with some subtle hard edges. Subtle hard edges. Is that an oxymoron? I don't know. But it's I really liked it. This was one of the not the first, but this is one painting that I really started realizing that I can paint a good portrait without tracing, and I haven't really looked back since. And I really like that one. I don't know why it works. I think the limited on no, it's not limited on contrast. I don't know. Dark background, bright face. Contrast. This one, this is probably one of my favorites too because I just love. Look at that mess. Look at all those impressionistic brush strokes. These hard squares here. Like, I can't find this brush anywhere, and I'm like, I definitely used it. Like, where's it at? I guess I'm just going to make a flat, hard brush again. But I really like the way this one turned out, especially like when you look back from it, you can't really see it as much. But I love. You can't do this with women. Women have softer features, and if you start putting all these hard edges on them, it just doesn't look good. I mean, do I need to remind you guys where we started? So you got to really kind of. I try to look. I left that little green mark in there, but if you can find a good pose of somebody where you can get away with these marks, go for it because they're really fun to work with. All right, guys. I think that's enough for today. And if you guys stuck around through all that, thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one.